So in Lansing, we talk about economics. In this area, there's partnerships, and yeah, just take that leap. Welcome back. This is the Risky Lifestyle Podcast, and I'm your host, Joshua Southern, Big Risky, Big Smooth, Big Cuz, whatever you want to call me. But there are some men that stand. There are men that stand on business. But then there's men that stand on business and then make the business. You know what I mean? But yeah, I have a special guest with me today. We got the Chief Equity Officer at LEAP, Mr. Tony Willis, everybody. All right?
Hey, thank you, big dog. Appreciate that. I like that flip there. Staying on business that makes business. So
man.
Take it all.
Absolutely, man. I mean, and we know people around Lansing know like what you do, but that's why we have you here. But because we want people, all the followers, viewers to know exactly what we got going on in Lansing and what we got cooking. We're gonna talk about some economics and some things that's gonna help the community continue to grow and all that good stuff. But yeah, man, let's start with a intro, and then we're gonna start with like a little icebreaker.
Okay.
But yeah, just tell the people where you're from, and how long you've been, doing what you've been doing. Just a quick one, and then we'll get into the
meat and potatoes, huh?
Absolutely.
Man. Sounds good, brother. So
yeah,
appreciate the intro.
Yes, sir.
First, I'm just thankful, honored to be here with you.
Yes, sir.
Chopped up with a good brother, per usual. And so my name is Tony Willis. I'm with the Lansing Economic Area Partnership, which is LEAP. Also, I'm the Chief Equity Development Officer of LEAP, which is all about making sure we have economic inclusion. Making sure that we create pathways for people to have access to the opportunities to participate in the economy as a whole. So that's a nice little overview of that.
Yeah.
I'm from Oak Park, Michigan.
Yeah.
Between Southfield, Royal Oak, Ferndale.
Love it, man. That's actually my son was born in Royal Oak.
Okay.
He was born at the Beaumont Hospital.
Yeah.
Right there off of Woodward. So yeah, man. I'm familiar with the area. My wife's aunt and I believe grandmother, uncle, they stay in Oak Park now.
Oh, yeah.
Got some people that stay in Southfield area, so
it's all quick there,
Yeah. Absolutely.
I used to ride a bike from Oak Park to Royal Oak to Southfield, all over the place. So
wow.
But came up here for high school, went to East Lansing, went to LCC, Lansing Community College, go Stars, transferred to Michigan State University, got my degree in communications from there, go Green, and went worked for a financial institution for a number of years. Then got into LEAP. I've been in LEAP now for 10 years now. Yes, that's the quick flow for it. So yeah,
man. 10. Okay. So yeah, so like we're gonna transition. I got a segment called "I Remember When."
Okay, I remember when.
Yeah. So I mean, like this can be totally like left field. It could be like anything that that maybe comes to mind that's funny. That's gonna just break the ice. Really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'll start it. My I remember when is I remember when I first met you. It was at a business mixer. It was with the first Elevate cohort.
Yes.
And it was at Urban Beats, and you were speaking that day. You were speaking that day. Yeah. So I remember like when I first met you, it was almost like you had like this glow on you. So like,
bald head. That's
nah.
Shining lights, everything.
So if like anybody has ever seen the movie The Last Dragon with Bruce Leroy, showing up.
Showing up.
Tony had this blue like aura that was around him, right? I'm like, man, like this guy is like well spoken for, like he's advocate in the community. He's yeah, man, like he has things going and he has it all together, which I know no one has it all together, right? But
We do our best.
but like when I met you, it was like a breath of fresh air. Yeah. It was like, man, like this is a guy that I think I can, like, really get to know, and he'll understand like where I'm coming from, where I want to go, especially when it comes to our community.
For sure.
Especially with our community being disenfranchised for forever, right?
Yep, forever. Yep.
And just hearing you speak, I was like, man, this is great. So yeah, man. That was I remember when we had some good food from Kicking It Soul Food.
Yeah, we did.
Man, it was just a good time, man. It was a good time. Yeah.
I appreciate that, brother. Yeah, that was a good time. I do recall that we first met, and that was for our Elevate Mixer reception for our first cohort.
Yeah.
Brother Marcus Leslie was there.
Yep.
My good friend Dwayne from who's at PNC was an amazing brother, Dwayne Powell. So yeah, I remember that too. And all right, so I'll do this. That's the flow here. I remember when I met you outside of the workspace.
Okay.
We met. Your older son was playing soccer.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And my sister Karen, Care Bear, was the coach for your son's team. And they had a game that day, and brought my kids and to go support my sister coaching.
Absolutely.
Let's go. And then I was like, oh man, that's Josh. You hop out, and your son looks just like you.
Oh man, yeah. He's a dark skinned version of me. Yeah,
100%. A little more melanated, which more power to him.
Yeah, more power to him. Yeah.
And so I remember that you and your wife and family, and just as you mentioned the aura, I already knew from as with Marcus Leslie, like you can tell that you are such a family person.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's your immediate family that you have, but then you can tell that branches out to your extended family as well. So
absolutely.
I gravitated towards you just that conversation. We first met, at the mixer, my brother-in-law, Jermaine from GM, and then stuff like that. So off of those areas, you can just tell.
Yeah, man.
Family and love,
I mean, and it was real, man. It was because I don't take things like that lightly. Because if I allow you in my circle or whatever it is, man, like I consider you family, and that's just the way I operate, and my wife too.
I can see that for sure.
She's very, keen on, who's in our circle and all that stuff, right? And but yeah, like whoever's in our circle is family, and man, we love you to death. You know what I mean? And like we do have a tremendous love for you and your family, man.
Appreciate that.
And your wife and your three boys. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. So yeah, let's transition. Let's deep dive, man. Let's like kind of go back to Oak Park, and let's go back to things that you were doing. Maybe as a little boy, even in high school. Because as we transition, we're going to transition to like what you're doing now. And does that line up with what you were like interested in the past, or is it something that just it just kind of happened, so
yeah, it kind of, man. All right, so growing up, to answer that last part of the question, I think you never know where your life takes you.
Never.
Right?
Never
and how
know.
things unfold.
Yeah.
And I grew up with my grandma for my time in Oak Park. And so it was me and my grandma for the most part, my granny, and a phenomenal woman. I'm still blessed to have her here. And learning so much from her drive, from her being a caring individual to the community.
Yeah.
She was a special education teacher.
Yeah.
And so seeing with folks with different needs, different levels of ability,
Yeah.
make sure to meet them where they are. So that was definitely rubbed off on me in that space. And then also, just my family. I had my mom who lived close by. I had my siblings. I have 4 siblings, 1 out of 5. My dad, as well, as involved, and moved up here to East Lansing with my dad. He's an officer for MSU at the time.
Wow.
So moved up here with him. So I was high school level, so my grand's like, "Yes, you're getting big."
Yeah. I mean,
that's
absolutely,
fine, right?
absolutely.
And my auntie also played a major role in my life too. My dad's sister, my aunt Casey, is a major influence in me. She think I'm dynamic. She's dynamic. She's the Willis genes.
She got it.
She got it. So all that being stated there, brother, as a kid, video games was a big thing for me.
Absolutely.
From Super Nintendo to my Sega Genesis.
Yeah. Talk that talk.
Yeah, 64.
Come on now.
I was in it all, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That was big. My bike was big.
Yeah.
I love riding my bike in the neighborhood, outside the neighborhood, beyond like my
absolutely.
It's funny because I would never let my kids ride their bike that far.
Man, listen, time, and I try to tell people times were different because I know our parents was times were different when we were times were different back in the 90s. It was it was different. Man, we would play neighborhood manhunts and all that stuff. You know what I mean? But we would ride our bike all the way over across. Man, it was a different time, and I would never let my kids.
Never. No, I just you know what I mean.
Never let my kids do that, man.
Reckless abandonment.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, and they're all responsible, great kids, but I know that. So I was so that was a lot of that. Hang with my friends' neighborhood, video games, play with toys, in that space.
Yeah.
Came to love music, Motown, always on the playlist. For my granny from Motown.
Motown, yes, sir.
And some country stuff too. My granny's from Mississippi, so we had some country stuff there as well.
Nothing wrong with the country western.
That's right.
Yeah.
And hip hop, of course. My first album, Snoop Dogg, Doggy Style.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a classic.
It was a classic. I checked in to get it to me. This is back in Northland Mall. We got one store, but I threw that in the thing. She's like, get some stuff, man.
We're doing it
there. Yeah. And so, but yeah, brother, so that was like that. That was my childhood for that part. Coming to high school, then my best friend named Willa. He's from Zambia. So we came to East Lansing, which was a little culture shock from Oak Park.
Oh, for sure.
And East Lansing, you get so many different folks from around the world because of Michigan State.
Michigan State is here, yeah.
And as well as LCC too, And then Michigan, the region, is a large refugee community. Willow and his family were not refugees at all there, but they migrated here, came here, and in 9th grade, I made man since, rocking since then.
Wow, 9th grade.
Yep, he's making beats and Fruity Loops back in the day.
Hey, now you talk about language. You talk about language. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I remember having the demo version of Fruity Loops.
Of course, yeah.
Now for all you youngsters, you call it FL Studio.
Right.
No. It was Fruity Loops back in the day.
100%.
Fruity Loops. Yes, sir.
Before the rebranding.
Yeah. Right? They had to rebrand, make it a little more sexy.
Yeah, maybe a lawsuit from Drew
Mills. Possibly.
Cease and desist on that.
Hey, come on now. Yeah, but
that was part of that, and just getting stuff with my friends. Too crazy, thank goodness, but always good times, good laughs, and
yeah.
Beyond that,
so when I'm thinking about those times, because I want to kind of stay there just a little bit, 90s, where times were simple. I mean, there were always creeps in the world, though. You know what I mean? But did you ever feel any danger? You know what I mean? Riding your bike across town. I mean, I know for us, like we would always look, we were looking when we were crossing the street. Obviously, we're riding our bikes to the park. We're going to like our friend's house. We're playing video games. Like we're playing 64. We're playing GoldenEye. We're playing all those.
Yeah.
But like during those times, man, did you like feel, like that you were in any danger at those times?
Not at all.
No.
No. I'm trying to think. Like even in like that time, never really any danger. Only danger that ever took place was like after some parties and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
yeah. I mean, but that was expected almost.
Facts.
As bad as it is to say, like it was almost expected. Like, okay, like that's why, like for me, I stayed away from parties. I'm like, it's not going to end well, like
right? No, yeah,
yeah,
yeah. That's I got a number of stories I won't go into right now, but
no need to.
Yeah, but my that earlier part, just you think about that middle school, early high school, you just ride your bike anywhere. And I never really felt that sense of like, because when you just gotta stick yourself with your crew.
Yeah, your crew. Yeah, everybody moving together.
Yeah.
So talk about music. Give me your like, I guess your top 3 genres that that you listen to like during those times.
Oh, during those times.
Yeah.
Oh man, it was Motown and hip hop.
Okay.
Everything else, I guess, oldies but goodies with my granny.
Oldies but goodies. Okay.
So it was Motown and hip hop, and from everything from Aretha, of course.
Yeah.
Temptations were always on repeat. I couldn't even listen. I thought holiday songs were the Temptations. I know there are regular versions outside of Motown.
Absolutely, though.
You know what I mean? Like. I was like, oh, other people sing this song? But then, hip hop, Biggie was big. I told you from Snoop Dogg, of course, that my first album purchase from my granny. That all the 90s, late 90s space there. You know, then conscious rap, Common.
Yeah.
It's great. Nas, of course. So those are like the main artists in that flow. Yeah.
Oh man, that those were good times. Because even for me, like when I'm thinking about what I used to listen to then, it was definitely gospel first.
Okay.
Yeah, because for me, like from the time I was born, I mean, even now, right, I grew up in the church, right? Like so, gospel was first. And then some R&B would trickle in there.
Okay. Yeah.
I still think 90s R&B is undefeated.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. And then, I had to sneak and listen to hip hop. So, because if I was caught, I would be in trouble,
Understood. I never listened to that stuff. Like, that was when my granny left and I was at home.
Absolutely.
And we had, those old school surround systems. Like the big speakers.
Oh, yeah.
You hear the stuff. We had an encyclopedia case.
Yeah, that most shake.
Oh, you get to do
it. Yeah.
And so, but I knew like, all right, she's going to go over here. I got this much time. She's going over a friend. Like, all right, boom,
We were good.
So that was that.
Man, yeah. And we would do the same thing. Parents would be at work in the summer. And like my dad had just bought this brand new like sound system. And me and my brother, we kind of got into the underworld of burning CDs.
Of course.
And selling CDs. So, but like, man, we would have all the mixtapes. So like anything that, would come out, man, we would have all like the new stuff and we downloading them.
Oh yeah.
Viruses all on the computer, slowing the computer down. But we had that Windows 95 at first, and then
sounds about right.
It's like Windows 97 came out or something like that. But man, it had viruses all on the computer, man.
It's such a crazy era thinking about.
Oh yeah, it was crazy, man.
I remember when just even the AOL disk to put in the computer.
Oh yeah, for the internet, and everything like that.
my stepdad, my mom's husband, has introduced me like some online, like just not online games, but computer gaming.
Computer
I
game. Yeah.
I had my 64 and my Nintendo before that, but then he had like a couple like strategy games and like computer games.
Absolutely.
And I was like, oh man, this is dope.
Yeah.
I never really picked on too much afterwards, like as we got, teenage years. But
Yeah.
the first time, I'm like, oh, I get why people play here and do this type of thing.
Yeah. Cause I used to play chess on
Yep.
on like, I think it was Windows 95. Like they had like some kind of chess thing that you could download, and I used to play chess on there, man. Against the computer, I would lose all the time, but
If you want to, so go to chess.com now.
yeah.
I'll send you my app.
Oh yeah.
Connect. I play now. I play on phone.
Man, I haven't played chess in years. Like,
I'll
but
pick it back up.
absolutely. Because it keeps your mind so sharp. And I tell people that man, I was introduced to chess very young. This was, I think I was in the first grade or something like that.
Okay.
First or second grade. My principal at my elementary school, man, like strong, like so. When I think of him, I think of you, right? Strong black man that wants to see change in the community, and he wants to give resources to like the next generation, right? So,
Right.
So he started us on chess. Me and my older brother, man, and shortly after, man, we became chess champions. man, we went to tournaments and stuff, man. We started smacking folks up, man. They like, man, these inner city kids, they're coming in here and they're like whooping our butt, like, and man, we are there taxing cats,
Yeah.
And I think I ended up stopping maybe in like the third grade or something like that because they kind of took away the program or whatever, but. And then I think we ended up getting a new principal. So then I started just playing sometimes at like the YMCA or something like that.
Yep.
With like the old heads.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, man, chess is a great game, man.
It's a great game, man. It's so many ways to play.
So many ways to play.
So many opening moves. I started like so, last quarter, 2023, I made a goal just to pick back up.
Yeah. Okay.
I play a few games on chess.com on my phone. Just I play versus computer or I play versus whoever random player they select you with the same type of skill bracket. Just play just to
play.
And I got introduced to chess by one of my friends. Who was one of those kids, kind of,
Yeah.
I mean, he was phenomenal at the game. Also doing probably some things he shouldn't be doing. A lot of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he introduced me to chess, and he was older than me, so he was like a big brother type figure. And from there, that's why I kind of picked up on it.
Yeah, chess, man, is a thinking man's game. Because even when I think about chess, I think about business. Because like thinking 3-4 moves ahead is what keeps you going and keeps you around longer. You know what I mean? So yeah, we're gonna transition a little bit.
Yeah.
We're gonna transition. So like, let's talk about current day Tony. Current day Tony. Like, what is Tony doing right now? To continue just being a blessing to the community, impact to the community, being an advocate to the community. Because man, you do so much from day to day. That's why I'm grateful for you even take out this time with me. To come out here, and just chop it up with me. So
I appreciate that, man. I think we all do our best we can, what we can do. We use our own God given gifts to hopefully do the good work.
Yeah, absolutely.
So faith plays a big part of my life. Doing the good work. That's
good work, yes, sir.
That's what says that multiple times in the
Bible. The good work,
right?
Absolutely.
There is good and evil, and there are. I'm not saying what is what, but I actually believe that there are forces that go against you and forces that are trying to push forward. And so, and all I want to say is that one, I'm blessed to have a great family. I have my wife, I have 3 boys, I have a great extended family on top of that. So many different layers, a level of support. My in-laws are phenomenal. So, and so And I also feel like if I'm in a position where I feel like I am right now, that not just for me, for my role, what I do is my role is all about helping the community through economic development and economic prosperity. But then taking that knowledge and also taking uh, strategies and things I learned from that and applying that to different organizations I'm a part of, whether that's All the Above, Hip Hop Community
Yeah,
Education,
absolutely,
Brother
absolutely.
Jose, with the Justice League of the
Hmm.
Greater Lansing, and even work with MSU, with I do as well. I just want to make sure that we could provide insight, value, to make sure that communities, people that look like us, see themselves reflected in those bodies.
Absolutely,
Those organizations are funded, are supported, and are connected to outside collaboration opportunities. And so all the work I try to do is just knowing that if I have a talent, I have a gift, I'm in good health, thank God, I could pursue that and push it forward. So,
absolutely.
that's my mentality as I go into it. I probably overextend myself sometimes,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to be more conscious of that because sometimes it does like, oh shoot, I got these things going on. And it's
Yeah.
you feel that drain happening
Oh
sometimes.
man.
You know
Oh,
what I mean?
absolutely, absolutely. That's why we were off camera. We were talking about me and my family going to California, man, and
Yeah,
I had to.
you had to, right? You didn't know that you had to. It wasn't just like it would be a fun
Yeah.
thing to do. I really need
No,
to get away here. I need to
I
get
have
this.
to get away. I
Yeah.
have to get away and do nothing.
Yep.
All I wanted to do was go put my feet in the ocean.
Yeah. You
That's
did that, right?
did it. Like I wanted to look at the waves. I wanted to look at the sun. Do nothing because all year we were doing something.
Yeah.
We're doing something, man. So many changes. So yeah, I can definitely attest to sometimes feeling like uh, overextending yourself, and just being overwhelmed sometimes, just drained, right? So my goal this year is to put everything in my calendar,
Okay. I like this.
um, put it in my planner,
Yeah.
and give myself gaps in between things that I'm doing, right? And not just going right back to back to the next thing, right? And just really understanding that my time is valuable,
It is.
and my health is too, though.
So the book I read last year, in top of 2023, might have came from 2022 to top of 2023, which is the Almanac of Naval.
Mm.
It's easy read, maybe 200 odd pages. It's not long,
Yeah.
so and Naval has his shows about his background, but also he went viral or more by a lot of other people in the stock group, small business, and about understanding leverage. It's not
Mm.
about working harder or working smarter. It's working more efficient and knowing the leverage point.
Man,
A
that's
lot of
good.
folks don't get that too.
That's good.
But beyond that, towards the end of the book, and I take this to heart even more so, is that the key priority has to be your own health and well-being. Even on top, because that is the only way. You being healthy, Josh being healthy, Tony being healthy, mentally, physically,
Absolutely.
spiritually, financially, healthy in a space, mostly your physical space too,
Yeah.
because
Yeah. Yeah.
internally, and that allows you to do the work to support your family, to support your community, support your friends, your own passions. So taking care of your person has to be a top priority.
Has to be. And that's why we have started this tradition of taking trips at the end of the year. One, I mean, we want to celebrate Christmas somewhere else,
Yeah,
instead of spending money on monetary gifts and all that stuff. Man, we just want to like create experiences, right? That
love
because
it.
even now, like my daughter's 3, like she every couple of days, Dad, remember when we went to Vegas? Or Dad, remember when we went to California? Like
I love
so
that. That's woo.
so
She'll never forget that. That's so ingrained into her person, right? You know
she
what I
will
mean?
she will never forget it. Just like my parents made sure in the summers, like they would try to take us on a trip somewhere,
Yeah.
get us out of Saginaw, Michigan, and take us on a trip. And my dad talks about it now. Like he would make sure that he would save up some money for us to either go like to Six Flags or Cedar Point, travel down to Atlanta. I tell people, like, I went to the 96 Olympics, like,
Wow.
went and, mingled down there. It was crazy because, there was a bombing going on, for like everybody that remembers, but we had just left, like, when all that went down, probably a day or two we had been gone already, but yeah, man, it was like our parents like made sure that they created those experiences when they could.
Right.
And then when they couldn't, right, like basketball kind of took over for me,
Okay.
So so then started traveling and all that good stuff, and seeing the world or seeing the U.S. But yeah, man, creating those experiences are great, man, because they actually open up your mind too.
They really do. They
Yeah,
really do. They change the way you see things. You compare and contrast.
absolutely,
You see what's possible. Because seeing is believing for a lot of folks. Right?
absolutely,
And so you see somebody else, see this city, you see these things like, okay, I could do that. I can see this person like me do this here. Or can
absolutely,
I make my community like this community that I want to see happen? And that type of feel.
absolutely.
So that's something me and my wife want to do more consciously this year is just more traveling with our kids. We've gone on a few trips,
Yeah,
but we'll do more because it's those type of that saying. And it's funny because my youngest son is 5,
yeah,
and he remembers like, oh yeah, we did the trips we go to.
yeah.
We're in Chicago, the big buildings here. And we're
Yeah,
always
I'm
supposed to,
telling you.
and so went to Vermont, see this here, like those things last
Yeah, man, it
in your
lasts
mind.
forever, man. It lasts forever. Those are things that you can go back to, man. Like, and think of those. Like, even if you're having like a hard day or a hard time, you go back to, oh man, I was in California, man. Those waves were, they were,
Yeah.
So yeah, so I do have a question though.
Okay.
Um, as as you sit in your current role now, where do you see, yourself, in 5, let's say 5, let's just say 5 years.
Okay. 5 years from now, uh, maybe still economic development. I'm not certain for sure. Um, there's a good strong chance I will be. Maybe I could be still at Leap. I could be at other places throughout the
Yeah,
state. MSU. I see whatever role I have. I'm happy with Leap right now. So I'll say
absolutely,
that. But I also know that as I grow into other things, or I'm called into other areas, create, with my other colleagues like Jazz and other folks,
yeah, absolutely,
so they can, as I elevate, go somewhere else, make sure there's room for them to grow in their own positions into my form position and
absolutely,
beyond, make it their own. And
absolutely.
so whatever I do, I still see myself playing a role in economic prosperity, access to a great, decent life for people all over. Make sure that everybody playing some level and some role for that mission.
Yeah, 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 absolutely, man. That I can see that too. Because I feel like this is something that like you're passionate about.
Right.
Especially when it comes to you know the community as a whole, but like our community too.
Yeah.
Because there are so many gaps out there. For us, as a whole, and bridging those gaps are important. But also creating our own,
Yes.
um, and having our own um, sustainable economy, I think, is very important. And what do you think about the word, or even just group economics? Like, what like comes to mind when you think about group economics?
Yeah. So group economics, in my mind, a few things come. Collective economics, group economics. So it's sometimes easier said than to do
Yes,
in practice,
absolutely.
right? Because we play in a global economy,
Hmm.
and the global economy shifts how our money is spent. We think of our families. You think of just 150 years ago, which is not people live right now that are 100 years. So that's
Yeah,
50. That's their parents. All
yeah,
right,
it's your parents.
it's not that far fetched from here. Even go say my grandma's, going to be 90. So
Absolutely.
she grew up. That was more group economics as the household at that time.
Absolutely.
Uh, Globalization did take play, was active. It's further now than ever before, of course.
Absolutely.
But as what we can do on a local level, so that was like a macro level.
Yeah.
On a local level, is being intentional of where you spend money. And then I feel like collectively, there's no monolithic group. We have to find folks with the same shared values, same shared system, where that you can be intentional spending money. And intentional doesn't mean it's always easy. It's convenient to do Amazon. It is convenient to do the Meyer. Convenience is the selling point they have. That is one of the crown jewels in their belt.
Absolutely.
Is convenience trumps other things sometimes. But to have a collective outcome for a betterment of our businesses, we have to be intentional of how we spend money within your community, what we want to support, what we allow in the communities, having ownership of our communities, having people represent us in offices of elected positions for those communities. And so all that plays into a larger flow of collective economics and group economics. And because ideally we want folks to be wealthy. It's not a bad word. We want everybody to be wealthy, because I know that you being wealthy, Joshua, your family and my family, it only allows us and our kids and our extended networks to have more opportunities.
Absolutely.
Done correctly. And so the goal for collective economics is to be intentional, to find areas where we can support businesses. And the business that we support, we hold them accountable. If you hold somebody, I hope somebody gets into a position and say, hey, I'm holding you accountable that we're putting this money behind you.
Yeah.
We want to make sure that you don't forget about the greater community that's supporting you.
Absolutely.
And one last thing here about collective economics, or that's about collective economics, and then economics as a whole. I really want to see us in more industries. And
Yes.
Michigan is the second biodiverse agricultural state in the nation. California is number one, and Michigan's number two. Some people say Michigan is the number one because we have water, and because we have there's droughts.
There's drought, yeah.
Right? And here we don't have that yet. Hopefully, not anytime soon either.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But the fact is, I look at what other industries can we have ownership in.
Yeah.
We produce so many different type of things, from cherries to the number one dairy supplier to all different type of crops. I look at on the back end, could those pieces of those crops be combined for another product? And that's the reuse in the biodiversity market is something I'd like us to expand further into.
Absolutely.
Other industries too, but that's just one that is on top of my mind because I was doing some research a couple of weeks ago.
Do you think that would be a new industry boom? Do you think that would create more jobs or even sustainability? Here in Michigan.
I believe so. Yeah. Yep. To that effect, I personally believe that is that if the reuse industry, if there's ways we can take products or leftover materials from whatever it may be, and reuse it, that's an industry within itself, right? And,
absolutely.
If there's ways that we can better develop technologies and so many different types, and then like what you're doing here at Whiskey Studios, you're creating a commodity. This conversation, this content. Now, years ago, I wanted Lansing to be like the YouTube studios in the Midwest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, and we could focus our money on creating that type of content. Sign folks with contracts, who'll produce best content, and then that revenue is being sold out there on the global platforms.
Absolutely,
money comes back in. That can then help support businesses and other things as well, and
absolutely,
community projects. So there's so many ways. When I think about economics, I always like to challenge people to think. Always challenge myself to think of all the different opportunities that are out there. It is a money game. It is a scale game. It's a convenience game. It's understanding our talent, resources in our state, and seeing where can we find, just like chess, find the right position.
Yeah,
You know,
that's good.
and that's I'm always thinking about that.
Yeah, and you just said something too. Talent. Like, how do we keep talent here in Lansing, or in Michigan? Period. Right. Because we talked about traveling, we talked about going to different places and compare, contrast, and all that stuff. Right. I've been to the Atlantas, to the Miamis, to the to like all the major big cities. Just came back from California. Vegas. These places are what I would like to say are sexy, right?
Yeah, yeah.
They have a appeal to them that people want to go. On top of the weather, right? Like the weather is good, right?
It's hard to beat 80-degree days, sunshine,
Hard to beat it,
low
right?
humidity. It is humidity because the beach out there. So it's like it's hard to beat that.
Absolutely, sure. But at the same time, like my wife and I, we talked about how people would almost just rather be homeless just to stay out there.
That's a thing, though. Actually,
yeah, like
honestly,
versus having affordable, real estate here, in Michigan, like where, hey, why not have a 27,000 square foot house,
two-car garage,
two-car garage, and I might pay 200.
Yep.
Versus versus out in California, that's going to be probably 1.5. Easy. You know what I mean? So
I would say to keep talent, there's so many different avenues. One, it's funny because from other state officials, I will say, previously other places, I've heard people say just like that. It's hard to compete with those things. And but for Michigan as a whole, one, we have stability. Weather, our winters are getting less severe, as we see right now.
Absolutely.
We don't have any, harsh existential threats or natural disaster threats coming our way. So we're safe in that realm. But safe isn't necessarily sexy. It's safe it's cool. It's cool. But to make it, I feel like we gotta spend more money on that infrastructure piece. And it's gonna cost. I feel like
cost money.
It's gonna cost money. But the fact is there's money out there. And you're betting on yourself. And you have to take that type of initiative to say we want to be a state where we see population growth. We want to continue to have a diverse population and increased population. What we look at as today as communities are not what communities will look like in the future. No. Change is the only constant. What Michigan looks like now wasn't what Michigan looked like 50 years ago.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
Right. So things will always change. Towns will grow. Cities will grow. Some cities will wither. Some cities will go away. Will be consolidated. This will happen. Yeah. This is the natural order of change in the world.
Absolutely.
And so, but we have the ability to help guide that change and play it in our favor as best as possible. We are competing with other states, and we know we are a peninsula type state where we have to attract folks like Florida, where you have to, everybody's to drive through Ohio. Right? And so you get a lot of just people towards driving through. You have to come here delivery to Michigan. It's its own. It is. And so we got to figure out what we want to do to attract folks for that. And we could create programs to help assist with, it's not like home buying programs. We can do things. There's a few of those. We can do the more wild and radical ideas.
Absolutely.
The fact is, we just got to try and not be afraid to create new ideas, to incentivize growth, to incentivize people wanting to stay here.
Absolutely.
And to continue to promote education, because talent is directly related, especially the high and low positions, to education, to the most part. Big companies look at where can they get the best deals for incentives. They look at where are the most educated workforces, where they can get great people to work for their employees, produce their goods and services. They look for access to ports and airports and train, railroad, and infrastructure, utilities. These are all the things that we know what people are looking for, or at least companies or investment looking for. then let's start spending more to develop those things to make ourselves more attractive. It's kind of feeds on itself.
Absolutely. And I think the last thing that I would just add, right, like that I mean, just in Lansing, which being a part of the Lansing Regional Chamber of Commerce and all that good stuff, hearing and seeing like some of the things that are coming to Lansing, and how they're looking to build like our entertainment space. I think those are some of the more attractive things that people are wanting to see, because now you got people hanging around, right? You got people spending money downtown. You got people, that are spending money at hotels, and like now our local economy is growing, right? And I like when I look at like Las Vegas and how they started, and it was just this it was just a desert, right? And they started putting stuff there, and you got cowboys and people stopping, but they made it a place where people wanted to stay and build and all that good stuff. And I do love westerns too. So
likewise,
yeah. So
fistful of dollars,
yeah,
hell on wheels.
Come on now.
Yeah.
So just watched Tombstone the other day too. But even looking at Tombstone, like how they were like trying to build up this town, right? And they had this new gambling house, or whatever. It was a attraction for people to hang around and stay around, and they were building up a new church, all this other stuff, right? So, and obviously times have changed. Things are changing. Change is constant, right? So, but I think the way you like continue to keep things sexy, we'll just keep that term, but it's just staying relevant to what's changing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because we see like some of these like bigger cities now are kind of like tech hubs now, right? You got the Googles there, you got the Microsofts there, and all that good stuff. And I think that's how you stay ahead of the curve, by playing chess, right? Not checkers. So.
And then we have, we just got to get more overall support for the Lansing region, both from, the state, which we've got a tremendous amount of funding, a historical amount for the Lansing region this past year from the state of Michigan, legislation there. Then MSU donors. There's money here, and there's ways to activate from alumni across the board.
Absolutely.
I think we just want more of our leaders to have a cohesive plan and start saying, "Hey, Lansing has grown. You've seen especially things right now. You've seen it look like
man,
and,
yeah.
It's just the start of it, and we'll continue to develop. Just invite folks to be a part of that growth. Make sure that we invite a variety of folks to make sure that all voices are heard and that growth's not pushed on somebody.
Absolutely.
They have their say into baking the cake together and add their own ingredients to it, because we want a wealthy, collective, prosperous, safe, appealing, sexy community.
Love it. I love it. No, I mean, yeah. So, we've talked about where you've been, where are you now, and where we're going, right? So now we have just a couple more segments, just two short segments, and then we'll do some last remarks. But so this segment is called "What You Got on Your Feet There." Yeah. So for me, I don't know if anybody can see right there. Some Doc Martens.
Okay.
Got some, some Doc Martens on. I mean, what you got on there?
Kind of very similar. Just some boot shoes.
Boot shoes. Yes, sir. I mean, we're gonna keep it real simple today. But I love my Doc Martens. My wife bought them for me for like I think for Father's Day, and she bought me like a Doc Marten bag to go with it. So yeah, this is actually my first pair, so I'm loving them.
Okay.
I do have a second pair that I bought. Like I bought myself like a little bit after.
Yeah, look, you feel good about it.
Oh man, I mean, because some people love their Timberlands. They do look good with clothes, but they are not good on your feet.
No, you walk around, yeah, exactly. Long enough, people adjust to them. But it's not like
no.
Yeah, for sure.
It's terrible.
They do look fly.
They do look fly.
When I was younger.
Absolutely. But yeah,
they last long too.
I have a pair from college, man.
That's really
that are still in great shape. Shout out to Peter Ryan Quest. He gave them to me because he just didn't want them. Like he said, "Hey, have these."
Yeah,
and there were some butters.
You had to.
Yeah.
Some butters, some suede blues.
Yeah,
I had, and but yeah, these I don't know. I just got some nice dress. Casual shoes there. Yeah. They probably got Kohl's one day or something when I was shopping.
Isn't it amazing how like you get a little older and like you do just want to be comfortable?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, like I don't care what nobody's saying. Like I want to be comfortable,
brother. It's because you feel like who am I got to prove now? When you're younger, you want to be a little like that's the thing. You want to be
fly a little, like, and I still want to dress nice, right?
Of course, yeah.
But it's still going to be comfortable.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna overdo it. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I got kids. I got a wife. Yep. As long as they think I look nice, I'm good. You know what I
mean? I ain't pulling up embarrassing nobody what I look like. I'm looking like that. Exactly. So that's on my shoes right here. So that's on my feet. Yeah.
This is you got on your feet. Okay.
My sons, I don't know if your son's like this. So when I was younger, I was never in their shoes as much, but they in their shoes.
Oh man, they in their shoes. And it's for my son. It's my fault though. It's my fault. Because he would just put on whatever was comfortable, like for real. But this is how my mindset has changed over time, right? When I first got out of the NBA D League. I got my first couple jobs. One job was funding my shoe habit, and the other job was paying the bills. Right. Even though like I was still like living with my wife's grandparents and all that stuff, and we were like saving up for a wedding and all this other stuff. I still was, buying shoes because I worked for Nike, right? So
so you had to hook up that way.
So I had a discount, so I would go on the site every day. I'm like, oh yeah, I got to get those for $20, $30, or oh hey, these are 100. Oh yeah, let me get those too. Let me get the socks to go with it. But man, I'm like spending money like for no reason. Even though I still have these shoes though, like I haven't. Maybe a couple pair are, beat up and old now, but like I still have shoes from high school.
Okay. See, wow.
So
a pair of boots from high school still. Actually,
yeah.
Outside boots. They haven't gave up yet. So
they haven't gave up. Hey, so for me, being sponsored by Adidas, and Adidas, if you want to sponsor me again, talk to me. But I was sponsored by Adidas through my AAU team, and I wore only Adidas in high school. If I wore anything else, it was because I bought them.
Okay, gotcha.
But for the most part, I wore mainly Adidas, and man, like I still got some of those from high school. I still got, man, I got some shoes from this camp that I went to, this Adidas All-Star camp that I went to, that no one has these, like, besides the people that were at the camp. Yeah.
So, boy, Josh, if I ever need, you a little taller than me, I might put on a thick wool sock.
Besides you got?
I'm 13.
13? Yes, well, I'm 15, so we're not that far.
Not that far.
Yeah. So I got something for you.
Okay.
Definitely got something for you. And the last segment is top 5 for you. I might even do 2 different top 5s.
Okay, 2 different categories.
Yeah.
Okay.
You just want to see, where Where you at?
All right.
Top 5 rappers of all time.
All time. Okay.
Top 5. Top 5.
All time.
I heard you talk about, hip hop and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And this is your top 5. This is not what everybody else thinks. This is your top 5. Your
Okay.
top 5.
My top 5 personally. I will go with the 2 I mentioned earlier to start off with. I will say Biggie. Short-lived career, unfortunately, but I mean, I could almost recite life after death to you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Raps Alfred Hitchcock. Because the vivid imagery, it was there.
It was.
Man.
Oh, man, it was there. It was there.
So
Absolutely.
I will also say Snoop too. I definitely not as lyrical, but
Yeah.
when it comes to flow and who else is out there before verse and stuff, Snoop is the most recognized celebrity outside of Eminem and Dr. Dre or 50 Cent from popularity standpoint. Even Drake, Snoop is that level of iconicism for that. My other top 5, now go the ones that those are my like long-standing ones. Lupe Fiasco.
Mm-hmm. I like it.
Lupe is definitely on my list.
I like it.
Oh man, the Cool, a phenomenal album.
Yeah.
Tattooing You, so many great tracks there.
Yeah, it is.
Big Crit. Yep,
That's my guy.
See, okay.
Oh, I know you're gonna pull him out like that, but that's my guy.
I'm slapping on some Big Crit.
Oh man, Big Crit is my guy. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool.
We got the sub.
Yeah. So me, my wife, and my brother during New Year's, we did a because he had just dropped like this little EP.
The 4-track EP. Yep.
But
set him free.
No, man, come on, 9 times. But so he just dropped his EP, but he put another sub part on there. So he did.
Yes, sir.
So we did a ranking of like which one that we liked the best.
Okay.
So there's like 6 parts now. Like my sub 1, 2, 3. Yeah. So it's all.
What's your favorite?
So if I can remember correctly, my list went 3.
Okay.
3, 5, 4. Was it 1? I think it was 1.
My sub.
My sub.
I put that on
my sub. Yeah. So, and then it was 2. It was 6 and then 2 or something like that. It was 6 and then 2.
Okay. Yeah. All great. Whole track list, man. Big Crit, phenomenal artist.
So, what's your favorite Big Crit album then?
Oh,
well, you know what? That'll be the second top 5 right there. What it is, but finish your last.
My last artist.
Yeah, last artist.
My last artist from Biggie, Snoop, Lupe, Big Crit. Man, I'm probably currently having rotation. It's probably a toss up between not a toss up. I'll probably go with more Kendrick, actually. Kendrick's high up there, man.
Yeah.
I love the depth in there. I love the flow. It's calming. It's workout. It's emotional. It's pushing it. It's gritty. It's vivid.
Thought provoking.
Yes. All the above,
man. And so like we're talking about Crit. Like, man, when he did that song with Robert Glasper and Bilal, I was just like, and Robert Glasper did something on Kendrick's album on that Pimp a Butterfly album.
Yep.
And I was just like, Robert Glasper is just, and I've been a fan of Robert Glasper for years. Especially when he did like Black Radio.
Okay.
And those albums are phenomenal. But
I would say honorable mention would probably be either Common or Nas. as
Love
those
it.
two.
Love it.
As next to my playlist.
Love it.
That, you know, Spotify told me Nas and Common were high on my list too.
Yeah.
So put them both in there as my
Man.
rotation.
Love
That's
it,
Tony.
man.
So my big crit, you know, so many different albums. The one with as we wrap this up, one, you know, I'm trying to think. So I'll say, I'm not sure that the exact rankings, but the ones that really come to my mind, Cadillactica was dope. Mind Control with E40 and Wiz Khalifa was fly for forever on my playlist. Then It's Better This Way, him and DJ Drama.
Man, that was crazy.
That was crazy too.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah, yeah.
I will also go for it is maybe it was I think it was his first album. It was the album with the dope black woman, Afrocentric, Fro, Gold.
Oh, yeah.
That's the name of the album.
Yep.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
I know you know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
And it was
Live from the Underground? Is that the one?
No, Live from Underground was the Cadillac.
Oh, yeah, the ground. Yeah. It was.
Which also was I like that one too. But the one, oh man.
I know what you're talking about though.
I know you know.
Because it's gold and all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I don't know the name on the top, but you know it's a beautiful cover.
Yeah.
It's like the woman, there's chariots on the side.
I'm looking up while you talking.
It's kind of like an Outcast kind of flow, throwback to 70 eras funk, Afrocentric vibe to it. Then my last one was like a double album. It was Big Crit and his government name. I can't remember what he called that one.
Justin Scott.
Those two. I like
Forever is a mighty long time.
Bro, that was my aunt. Man, you speaking the same truth, man. Listen, that was it.
Forever is a mighty long time.
The dream to create.
Oh my goodness, bro. Yeah, so I'm looking this up right now. Let's go discography.
Yep, you gotta say this out loud to the group.
Got to. But yeah, Forever is a mighty long time. So these are his albums. So it might have been a mixtape.
It was an earlier one too. You know what I mean? It was man.
Let me see what that looks.
I'm about to post this as a follow up here, brother, because this one.
Yeah.
Was it Forever and a Day? No.
No. Nope.
I'm pulling out two here. It's man. Let's see if we can find it first. We're rushing it. We're moving it.
Yeah.
I went here. It was King Remembered in Time.
King Remembered in Time. Yep. Wow.
So, the cover, phenomenal work, man. All great music.
Yeah, like when I heard them, so I just I heard them on. What's crazy? So I listen to a lot of Christian hip hop, right? So
yes.
One of the first times I heard him was on Lecrae's Gravity album. I'm like, who is Big Crit? Like, I'm like, okay, cool. This is like 2009, 10, something like that. And I'm like, man, this dude is nice.
Big time.
Then he came out with Cadillactica, I think in 2013-ish or something like that, 12, 13. And when I heard that Outkast feel to it, I said, okay, I'm listening. You got my and for me, I love live instrumentation too. And he has a lot of live instrumentation in his and like old school samples and stuff like that.
Major, bro.
Love it, right? And it's just
the vocals, the background of the
vocals. The vocals, it's crazy. Cool. Yeah, it's dope, man. It's dope. So yeah.
He's the same class with J. Cole, Kendrick.
All them guys.
Yeah, it was a great, they got more wide success. But Crit, production wise, from rapper, producer, own field, live music.
Oh, bro. Like there's nobody touching him. And for me, like he would be in my top 5 too. So
yeah.
So that's why I was like, whoa, Big Crit. I was like, oh, okay. Now we talking. Yeah. So yeah. So any last remarks before we get out of here?
Man, I just want to say I appreciate you having me.
Appreciate you. Yes, sir.
Time is precious, so to have this time of conversation, fellowship, it's a lot, brother. And I just want to tell everybody listening, let's continue to do the good work. Let's fill in the gaps as best as we can. Let's know that we're all connected. That's what community means.
Absolutely.
Believe it or not, we're all connected. And everybody to have the level of prosperity, to have their dreams fulfilled, to have good health, to do the best for themselves and for the ones that depend on them, the ones that they want to support. So it's better.
Let's do it. Let's continue to do the good work. And hey, listen, this is a man that stand on business. I told you earlier. This has been Joshua Southern with the Risky Lifestyle Podcast. I thank you guys for joining in. If this has blessed you, like, share, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff. And yeah, man, just pass it on to the next person, right? And we'll see you in the next one. Peace and blessings.